Thank you, Mr. Stratmanis, for those remarks. 20 years ago, the world of communications was still in its infancy. Reaching out to consumers, talking to friends, or rallying for a cause was done by what now seems like ancient technologies. The telephone, radio, fax machine, and snail mail. Now we have Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Skype, and the like being used in ever-evolving ways. I'm sure there's not one person in this room that has not heard of social media, although we have various experiences and understandings of it. Global Hue, the nation's largest independently owned advertising agency with culture-based experience, let's be clear, has embraced the reality that the communications paradigm has shifted and social media is the new way of engaging with consumers and prospective business partners. We have assembled a dynamic panel of entrepreneurs, media leaders, and cultural curators to break down what social engagement is and how you can use it to impact your business. We encourage you to continue this conversation online with your peers using the Twitter hashtag #NanEngage. Most times at events like this, you're asked to turn your phones off. We like you to keep them on, vibrate, and tweet about anything that you hear today. And to co-op MTA's line, if you hear something, share something. So I'd like to introduce the panelists today. We have Alfred Edmond Jr., the Senior Vice President and Editor-at-Large at Black Enterprise Magazine. We have cultural critic, Amanda Diva. You can see her on AOL Black Voices The Spark, Music Choice Speaking Of, and you can check out her art at divaworksofart.com. Then we have a duo, Ginger Johnson and Liz Pickett, the co-creators of Ginger and Liz, a popular nail lacquer collection. And lastly, we have Detavio Samuels, Executive Vice President and Director of Client Services from Global Hue. When you leave here today, we hope that you will take away 3 things: how you can use social technologies to impact your business, how you can build and protect your brand online, and lastly, that social media and social engagement is the new normal. So let's get started. The first question is for all of the panelists. What are the top 3 social media platforms you're using for business and why?
Well, we recommend to the Black Enterprise audience, and if you go to blackenterprise.com, you see that we do a lot of coverage of social media. But we recommend that there are 4 media platforms, social media platforms that you must be engaged in. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Google. Now, a lot of people don't think of Google as social media because they think of it just a search engine, but more information about you, about your company, about your brand is being circulated on Google than maybe any other platform. So those are 4. A 5th one for many people is YouTube. But if you're, at the very least, you should be on LinkedIn. Certainly if you're a professional or business owner, you should be on Twitter, you should be on Facebook, and you should be on Google. And if you think you're not on social media, you already are on social media. All you gotta do is Google your name. People are talking about you. So people say, I'm not trying to get into that. You're already into it whether you want to or not. It's just a question of whether you're gonna manage your image and your brand or everybody else is gonna manage it.
What was the first one?
LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Google. And this is a good time to say, these aren't like the same thing in 4 different colors. All right. Each social media platform is designed to operate in a different way to meet different objectives. So that's why it's important for you to kind of take each one as its own platform. They have certain things in common in terms of how they share information, but they're not the same things. Say that again.
Can we keep questions toward the end? We'll have a Q&A session. Thank you.
And we'll break it down then.
We'll break it down.
As Alfred was saying, there are some specific sites that everyone should be involved in. And depending on what kind of business you are involved in yourself, that determines how you utilize those sites. For me, my 3 main sites are Twitter and YouTube, and recently Facebook. I never considered Facebook to be something I would utilize as business. I actually kept it as, a friend-based network. But then I was booked for a show to perform my music in Paris based off of Facebook. So we're gonna count Facebook. That's how we're gonna do that. So for me, it's Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and I'll speak later about the different facets of work that I do and how those sites are utilized to help those facets work. There we go. Okay, next.
I think we found that the G&L girl, which is, you know, our demographic, we're able to touch her and reach out to her and communicate with her best via Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. And we have a Facebook group page and a Facebook like page. And I guess during the question and answer session, we'll get into the difference and the importance of having them both, or like what is best for your business and your marketing needs.
We use YouTube also, because a lot of customers or bloggers do testimonials and will use the polish and, you know, kind of do a stage day 1, day 2, day 3 where, so YouTube is also a big social network.
Use the mic, turn up the mic.
Can you hear me now? Okay. We use YouTube because we're in the beauty business, so there's a huge beauty blogging community. And an extension of that is with YouTube. A lot of bloggers will do reviews on nail polish or just go on for 5 to 10 minutes about a single color. So we found the G&L girl really gravitates towards Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and YouTube.
Those are those are the four main social networking avenues that we use.
So for me, you'll hear me today speak about two different perspectives. One, I use social media a lot just for my own personal brand. And so it's, sorry about that, because it's better. All right, so I use social media a lot for my own personal brand. And as far as that goes, I use a lot my website, detavio.com. That is the core of my brand and where it lives. But then I also use a lot of Facebook and Twitter to share and spread information. As it relates to our clients, it's pretty much what they just said. It's a lot dependent on where that target lives. We're dealing with big brands like Walmart and Chrysler and whatnot, so they tend to gravitate towards their own websites, but in addition, they tend to gravitate towards the Facebooks because of the millions of people there, and the Twitters as well.
Okay, Alfred, so you're on Twitter. Black Enterprise is on Twitter.
So am I.
You were on Twitter as well, at Alfred Edmond Jr., if you want to find him. So your consumer, your reader finds you. Now what? Are you just pushing information out? Are you just tweeting links? What do you define as your engagement strategy?
Well, you could do a variety of things, but probably the one thing you shouldn't be doing most of is pushing yourself. I literally just shared a link with one of my followers because every message she sent was a link to her blog. Literally, 15 messages in a row is read my blog, read my blog, read my blog. People aren't going to pay attention to you. They're not going to want to listen to you. They're not going to follow you if all you do is say, look at what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing. So what you want to be known for is a resource that people want to follow and tap into because you are providing information that's of interest and helpful to them.